All right, here we go. Well, hey everybody, welcome. You guys
That
are
was
the first people to see our intro video. We're getting all, you know what, every time we do these things every week, we're getting better and better, just a little bit, or as my Japanese friends say, skoshi. Dr. Charletta Wilson, welcome to our Friday Live. Adrian, tell us what you know about Dr. Charletta. Give her an intro.
Well, she is an amazing woman, teacher, trainer, mother, friend. We just, we love spending time with Dr. Shar, and she's taught our team and me personally all sorts of wonderful things to help us be better humans. And she has a specialized training that she's done one-on-one with Dr. Brene Brown. She got to go in person and just be under Dr. Brene Brown's wing to take this training and teach it to others. And we were just, we're so fortunate to have her here on our island. So thank you for being on our Friday Live today.
Thanks for having me again. I feel so incredibly blessed to call both of you friends and the Team Lally. So I'm glad to be back to talk about Dare to Lead. I know that you guys were among the first on island in Hawaii to actually experience version 1.0. And that was fresh out the gate. As you can see in the back here is the Dare to Lead book. There you go. Woo woo. Yeah.
I love it. It's sitting right in front of me. I look at it every day while I'm working.
I love it. What's been incredible about Dare to Lead is that it really is life work. So it's not something like it's a course, it's a one-time course, you go through it and then all of a sudden you're a better human. These are practical tools. It's a way of life. It's not just a mindset. It's about relationship building. It's about having a better relationship with yourself. And so I've been incredibly fortunate to have trained well over, I don't even know the numbers now. I think I've lost count, but probably well over 1,200 leaders across the state, as well as Australia and some folks from the mainland. And because of COVID, it transitioned from a face-to-face live training to virtual, and then we have some hybrid experiences as well. And so since you all went through the training back in 2019, it has evolved from a 16-hour program to a 24-hour program. And so tell me what you want to know.
Well, when is your next training? When is that going to be? And is it going to be virtual? Is it going to be in person? If we have some leaders that really want to, dive in and get to know themselves better.
So you're putting me on the spot here. When? That is the $50 million question. So the when is I am actually doing trainings with teams. And so the teams have, I'm working with a select group of teams, and these are extended engagements where we are not only unpacking the 24 hours of content, but there's actually accountability built into making sure that the leaders are actually living the skill set. So I am working with teams right now. I am open to having conversations with leaders who want to scale courage in their organizations. Those team engagements won't begin until January. However, because I continue to get requests for the work, there is a possibility that we will do perhaps a 6 to 8 week specialized training for leaders who either want to refresh, so some alum, but they want to go deeper. And it may be by invitation only. So, I'm playing with the idea, and that would be probably closer to the latter part of September that would launch. But stand by for that. I will let you know more on that.
All right.
And then I was going to say, you also have these fun videos that you send out with these little tidbits of like bite-sized pieces of information and things that we learn in this storytelling training. Is that something that people can get on your website, or how do they sign up for that?
Where on the website can they subscribe to it?
Yes, absolutely. Go to the blog. If you go to the blog tab, there you go. You go to the blog tab, and if you click on any one of them, it will automatically send you to the YouTube channel, and then you can subscribe there, and it'll alert you. Hey, look at that! Hey, I just saw something. Did you see that awesome group of leaders? Go back one. Did you see that? so attractive.
Oh, wow, right there.
There we go. So
awesome. That was a fun day. And we were actually just talking about that with Laura, about when are we going to do this again, and where can we do this? So we'll be reaching out to get that set up on a, because it's so important to do that recharge and reset and get ready for the next year and come together. And yes.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. The skill set, for those who have not read the Dare to Lead book, the skill set breaks it down into 4 distinct skill sets. So vulnerability being the one. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Vulnerability is the big one. And so, as you said, the recharges, we don't ever we can't outpace vulnerability. That's always going to happen as long as we care about people and we care about connection. Vulnerability is always going to be part of our life experience. So definitely well worth revisiting over and over again.
Well, we're definitely excited to come and revisit with you. We always have so much fun.
Yeah.
And it's hard work. And, there's all sorts of laughs and tears and growth.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part, the growth.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think, the thing that, resonates most, like you had mentioned, Laura, who I miss, she's such a gem, a wonderful part of your team. We've had conversations around, the practicality. I mean, the skill sets, they're very portable, and they show up not just in your work life, but they show up in your personal life.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Brene Brown is often quoted as saying, who you are is how you lead, but who you are is also how you parent. Who you are is how you show up as a friend. Who you are is, how you show up to the world. And so, revisiting, I mean, this is life work.
And then Attilio, we can't hear you, Attilio. I don't know what's going on with your audio.
On
there you
your
are.
website that creates great topics of conversation for the, let me do the screen share again, and maybe talk to us about this one little, I see there's a couple of sentences here right in the middle, and I think however many we can cover, we may not cover them all, but I think, boundaries, empathy, defensiveness, trust, perfectionism. How would those things, if you come in and work with a team or a company that's interchangeable, right? Company, team. How is that going to be a benefit to the company and the individual members of that company?
Oh, well, hands down, when people show up as their most authentic self, they're their most creative, they're their most collaborative, and they are their most innovative. And so, you can pick any one of those skills and work on it for a time, and you can measure it, you can monitor it, and you can see tactical and practical improvements in and just overall performance.
Yeah. Adrian, how, here's one that's on there, but how has that word rumbling helped our team that we learned from Dr. Shar?
Oh, well, we rumble all the time.
Yeah.
And there's rules, right? We've been
Yeah.
trained in it, and there's definitely, guidelines that we all follow so that we can all grow and resolve any kind of, underlying issues. So it's been an invaluable tool. And I would say that as we have new people come onto the team, we have to, get them, involved and understand, what is this rumble?
Yeah.
Because it can be kind of a foreign language.
Yeah.
Well, I think when people hear that word rumble too, it's not like, what was that movie where, and here's the famous line, "Warriors, come out and play." That was one. And then remember that musical? Was it West Side Story? It's the sharks and the what? And then, people think of that as rumbling, and people like coming out with baseball bats and brass knuckles. No, that's not what you were teaching us. The MMA way of resolving conflict in the workplace. What does this mean, rumble? To rumble.
Let me show you something else I have on my board. Can you see what that says?
What does it say?
Let's see here.
Rumble starters.
Oh,
Rumble
I love
starters.
Yeah. Rumbling is such a gift because it certainly sets an intention, right? I mean, it sets an intention. It sets a structure around. I'm not coming into this to have a right or wrong. It really throws out the binary thinking, and it's generative and it's creative, right? And it's explorative. So, and I will say this, the idea of rumbling is to some degree, it doesn't have to be aspirational, but it is that in itself is a skill set, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it has to be practiced.
Yeah.
And if you don't practice it, you get kind of rusty.
Oh,
absolutely. Well, I think what's important for what you do, Dr. Shar, especially here with our Hawaii culture, local people, our local culture is the opposite. We do not like to rumble. Here's the famous local phrase. Oh, so-and-so, she all the time, and, I have such big problems with her. I don't know what I'm going to do. And then the response from the coworker, well, how come you don't go to her supervisor? And then the response is, oh, I don't like make waves. So,
oh my gosh, Tilio. Oh my gosh, you've been reading my mail. I mean, yes. Almost every day I get that type of conversation brought into my sphere of work. And so that actually the number one, you wouldn't be surprised based off of what you just said. The number one concept that I am asked to talk about when I'm invited to either guest speak or to do a little mini training is on boundaries and what that means. And what I've concluded, the one thing that people are most surprised about is that boundaries are not just things that are important to you. There are things that are important to you that you communicate with clarity. And so when you don't communicate what's important to you, guess what that is? It's just a wish.
And it's unkind, as Brene Brown says.
There it is.
To be clear is to be kind.
Yes.
You know what? I want to put a local spin onto your training. So here's going to be my suggestion. You have a new training you come in. It's going to be called Rumble with the Kind. They're like, oh, you're fun. You in the kind. Oh, I can't believe you in the kind. How come you don't tell a supervisor? Oh, I don't like make waves. So
shoots.
Yeah,
I'm gonna steal that one. I gotta steal that one.
Rumble with the Kind, because when we don't deal with it, what happens in a work environment, in a group's environment? Tell us, put the psychologist under perspective of what happens in a workplace when you don't resolve these issues.
Oh my gosh. Well, when you don't resolve these issues instead of talking to each other, you talk about each other. Number one, you get frustrated, and chances are you start to get defensive. You put up armor, right? And when armor is presented, it puts disconnect between you and the other person or the group. And then of course there's also just the turnover, leaving the place that you enjoy working at because you're afraid to have the hard conversation.
You just hit on a big one with employers, people leaving, retention. How much money, how many millions of dollars are companies wasting on not having retention and having to retrain people?
Yeah.
Because people things aren't being resolved in the culture, because as an employee, right?
Yeah.
Either it's resolved in the culture or you leave.
Absolutely. Very costly. Yeah.
So employee retention is a big one.
Yeah.
What else? I've been to organizations or team where I can tell the company culture, they're not getting these things out, because when I'm dealing with, say, like a front end person, I get this attitude: oh, that's not my job.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, you get stuck in the rules and regulations, and and that becomes armor, right? Well, the policy says this, and I'll give you a prime example. I was I won't tell you the name of the airline, but I contacted an airline yesterday to do a rebooking because there was some travel arrangements that was COVID times or pre-COVID, and so we had to cancel. And so I, after being on the phone, waiting for 2 hours, like literally 2 hours on the phone to get to a person to talk it through, the person says, oh, well, you canceled your reservation on March 4th. And that wasn't, according to our policy, that wasn't officially COVID. I said, oh. And so I go, well, I tell you what, if you contacted the World Health Organization,
yeah,
right, yeah, they would argue that matter. And I said, but I don't want to argue with you. What would it take for you to get that policy, to get a waiver for that policy? Because I was with the understanding that we had until 2022 to rebook. So then she put me on hold yet again, and then came back and goes, okay, well, we'll make an exception this time.
Well, I have a recording of when she put you on hold, and the conversation went like this: oh, check out this girl. She don't follow the policies for rebooking. What do I do? Get a supervisor. Hey, supervisor. Oh yeah, what happening? Oh yeah, she. Okay. You know what? Just give them to her already. But I'm being facetious and joking about it. But you're in good company, because what's his name? Simon Sinek. He had that same kind of experience at an airline, and what he explained is that what's going on behind the scenes is the company culture is, let's not make a decision right there in front of the client that completely makes sense, because I could lose my job. Yes. And let's go do all this rigmarole to solve the issue.
Yes.
Kudos to Southwest Airlines. They give their employees $2,000 is the window. Solve the I'll give you an example, and it sounds like I got shares in. I don't even have shares in Southwest Airlines. I was flying. I was with my whole family. We were coming back on a connecting flight with Southwest Airlines, and we had all these tickets. And I realized that for some reason, my son has the same name, so we had 2 tickets that are identical, but one was me and one was him. But there wasn't 2 bookings. So literally we're coming back to the last leg to Hawaii. And I said, you know what? I think we goofed on this, and I need to get on this flight with my family so I can come back. What do we need to do? He says, well, let me work on that. And this is at the Southwest ticketing thing, whatever. The guy sitting there, we're trying to figure out, okay, I guess I'll sleep in the airport. I'll fly back the next day. I don't know what I can do. So long as the family gets back, I'm fine. The Southwest guy goes like this: sir. I come up to the desk. He slides over a ticket. No charge to get on the airplane. no supervisor, no this, no that. And it's a
Right.
wonder why Southwest Airlines is so successful, even
They
through
they
all
probably read Dare to Lead.
Yeah.
They probably done the Dare to Lead
You
training.
know what? That was my first instinct. Was it's
Mhm.
all about courageous leadership, right? It's
Yeah.
about being able to see your team members, your subordinates, your employees as people, as humans, as creative, resourceful, and whole. And so, kudos to Southwest
Yes.
Airlines.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
that
should
wasn't.
take that testimonial. That's I mean, that's worth a lot of but I mean, that was an actual real life experience.
Yeah.
And everything flows from leadership, right? And that tells me that they got something good over there at that company culture.
Yep. They empower their people.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so boundaries. The emotions in the workplace.
Mhm.
Emotions in the workplace. Can you kind of speak to that a little bit?
Well, aside from the old ideology that emotions don't have a place in the workspace, and that we should check them out the door. What leaders are being required and being asked to do is to become emotionally literate. And when I say emotionally literate, it's about not only recognizing and understanding the full range of your emotions, but also being cognizant that every human that you interact with, they too also have a full range and a full suite of emotions that they also experience. And so with the Dare to Lead program, there is a portion where we expand not only the language, not just the happy, mad, sad, angry, but we explore the full array of what that means, and that you can actually, you're not just one or the other. Sometimes you're multiple things at one time. You're multiple emotions at one time. And on top of that, I'll do the and. We are not our emotions, but they are very much a part of our own intelligence, right? They tell us, they give us clues as to what we need, what we desire, and what needs are not being met.
Well, as we, I was going to say, as we kind of wrap things up, is there anything that we should have touched on with the Dare to Lead or CaPeesh Consulting that maybe we should have talked about? What did we leave out?
The thought that I'd like to leave with you today is for anyone who's observing is to perhaps go to Dare to Lead, to daretolead.com, and there's a free assessment there where you can identify the area in which brings the most opportunity for you. And so that would be the starting point, is go to the daretolead.com website, take the free assessment, and then if you have questions, circle back, send me an email, and I'd be more than happy to have a conversation with you.
And you know what? Since you're the guest on today's Friday Live, they kind of go to daretolead.com. They got to go to CaPeesh and then click on the Dare to Lead.
Absolutely. So click on Dare to Lead, if you will. If you click on the Dare to Lead tab right there. Thanks for reminding me. Sometimes I forget what on my website.
We're going to be using like some kind of fancy smancy Google backend metrics.
I would say also make sure to subscribe to the blog, because you have some really wonderful videos. I think my favorite one was the one about perfectionism. That was so cute with all your bloopers and everything. I loved that one. That was so fun.
Yeah, you get to see my quirkiness. It's very real. Yeah, there you go. So if you go to CaPeesh,
so if you go there,
then go to Dare to Lead, and then you can do your assessment.
Website, so she gets the mojo. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Go to Char's website so she gets the internet mojo. We don't know how it works, but it's better that you go through her website to get there.
Thanks, I appreciate you. Thanks for having me.
Yes, it's nice to have you back. and we'll be seeing you soon for some refresh and recharge for our team, because we've got some new people. We've got to, get enrolled in this Dare to Lead type dialogue, and the rumbling and the vulnerability and all of that good stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah. We bring them in the fold, and we do it with love.
That's right.
All right. So our new intro video is also a bookend. So we're going to take us out with our outro video. It's the same video. We just want to play it again. There we go.